welcome to this week's podcast. This week, I really want to talk about consistency because I definitely struggle with this, and I have a sneaky suspicion I'm not the only one. And I talk about it a lot because I do know the importance of it, because it in my own journey, in my own self-love journey, it was only when I started to be consistent with certain practices and doing the work that I started to see results. So there is definitely an element of truth in staying consistent, and it can definitely help you. But how do you navigate that when you don't feel like doing those things? I've said this before on things, it's easy to stay consistent when you're full of energy and, you're in the flow, and it's like, yeah, I can tick off all these things today. That's really easy. But how do you do it when you're not in the flow and you're really low of energy and you're struggling? And it can be really hard to get up and do the things that will help you. A lot of this stuff is prevention over cure. It can absolutely be a cure, but I think, keeping on top of it, I know it certainly helps me. When I keep on top of my sort of call it my self-care routine, my self-care toolbox, so to speak. I know that when I do it, I do feel better. But, it's so easy. We can just so easily fall off the wagon. And, we're human, and we have lives, and we have busy lives, and we have stuff going on, and things crop up. And it's so easy to suddenly stop doing things. And then you suddenly realize, I haven't done that. And then it makes it harder to then get back into it and create that habit again. And I really struggle sometimes as well with my own energy levels. I've been on a bit of a journey with this recently, going to the doctors, getting blood tests. And, I've noticed that my daily self-care routine has dropped off a little bit. And I'm probably not doing as much as what I usually do. And that's fine. And I am sort of trying to approach it with just a kindness and a compassion to myself, and to understand that I am human. We are human, and, we're not robots. We can't be consistent robots that can do the same thing over and over again. It's just not possible. And I think, coming from I'm a female, and I believe that our hormones play a massive part in this too. We have our own cycles, we have the moon cycles, we have so many things going on for me. And I definitely notice my mood shift and change around my cycle. And I've been navigating that myself and trying to figure out how I can, try and keep consistent around these things. And learning more and more about myself has definitely helped. And it's a process, it's never just going to be an easy just fix with this stuff. It is a learning process, and learning more about yourself can really, really help you. And it's definitely worked for me. I think I decided a couple of months ago, when I was just feeling really low on energy, and, energy is literally the source of life, I believe, because if you have low energy, then you just struggle to do everything. Like, everything else just becomes more difficult. You can't be bothered to get up and cook for yourself. Maybe you can't be bothered to go out on that walk, even though these things will help you. It's a struggle. And I've been feeling that, and I've been on my own little journey with this recently. And I decided to make my solution to this was to make a spreadsheet. And I know spreadsheets aren't for everyone, but I think this comes from me working in admin roles in the past because I love a spreadsheet. I love organizing. I just really enjoy if there's something that's a problem or it keeps occurring in my life, I'm like, right, okay. I get very pragmatic. I'm like, how can I fix this problem? What can I do? And I was like, well, let's just approach it. And, and I was very against it at first because I was like, no, that's not very spiritual. I'd rather be somebody that just does things when I feel like it. Oh, I'm in the mood to meditate, I'll meditate. Oh, I'm in the mood to journal, I'll journal. And it did work at the beginning. I think when I started my self-love journey, that definitely worked because I was at a place of desperation. I think when you're at a place of desperation, you will try anything. And I was like, right, yeah, consistency is the key with this stuff. And it worked. But then, it peters out. There's a moment where it sort of, it's not like it stopped working. It's just, you're not getting them same kind of energy bursts, where you're like, wow, this stuff is great. Oh my gosh, yes, this is working for me. So I decided to make a spreadsheet and I put the date in the left-hand side. Across the top, I basically put a load of things that I wanted to do every day that were fairly simple to implement into my daily life, that I could implement into my life to create more energy. I Googled energy, how to get energy and kind of just, all the basic stuff. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to come at this from a very practical place, and I started logging and just basically just doing a simple little tick saying, yes, I've meditated. So there was breath work, meditation, journaling. I put dance movement because it's both the same to me, and a stretch, and also, things like gratitude and things like that. And I was just logging. And then I also did another column where it was out of 10, I did my energy levels, and out of 10, I did my sleep. So whether I had a good night's sleep or not. And it's been really interesting. And I also been logging when I was on my period and just, seeing when my energy levels are at their highest and when they're at their lowest. And this for me has been great because I've started to notice a pattern, and that's good to know. I think information for me is always good to know. Like I say, just finding more and more stuff about yourself and how your body works, because we are all unique. We are all so different, and this might resonate with you. This might not resonate with you. All I know is it's something that I started, and it just seems to be giving me more information about myself, which I believe is just always a positive thing. It's always good to know more. So I've definitely noticed when my energy levels are kind of higher and lower. And this helps me kind of recognize, because sometimes I can look and be like, oh, why do I feel so tired today? Why can't I keep consistent with my work or doing stuff? And so I can look and go, oh, yeah, it's, whatever phase it is, pre-ovulation or post-ovulation, or, oh, I'm just about to come on my period. So it is super, super helpful for this. But I think sometimes as well, not ignoring the fact that consistency does help with this stuff. Absolutely. It 100% helps with your mood, with everything, and I think I've used it a lot, consistency and staying consistent, but obviously it's easier said than done. It's easy, like I say, when you've got the energy and you can do all the things and you're buzzing, it's really easy to stay consistent. So how do you do it when you're not? And for me, having this spreadsheet has just given me just a little kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, just like a little nudge. And it doesn't mean that I need to go and do like massive amount of journaling, but because I have journaling on there, it might just be writing one sentence, a couple of sentences going, how do I feel today? And that's it. My movement might be literally just putting on one song and just dancing around when I'm cooking. And that's it. It might be just taking a couple of deep breaths in the morning, and that's it. And when I'm hitting these things every day, it is helping. It is helping me. And I find that having that little, that nudge from the spreadsheet, it's a little thing, and I don't find it hard. It doesn't take too much time for me to just fill in, in the morning for the day before. And I just find it super helpful. And I wanted to share that with, if anybody has been struggling with consistency and staying consistent, you're not the only one, definitely. And there is points and days where I don't hit the things that I want to hit. And it is always about coming back to self-compassion and kindness for yourself, because some days are going to be probably harder, and that's okay. It is all welcome. We are all human beings having a human experience, and I think I'm saying this to myself as well, and not just to you, because I know that I can be really hard on myself when I'm not, I can hit all these self-care things, but then I might not be hitting, I need to be doing all this stuff in my business, and look at this, I need to be doing videos and content and creating copy and doing all the things, and I need to be doing more, but all I can do is basically tick off these self-care practices. Then that's enough. Just doing those few things for that day is enough. And I am worthy just doing them. And it's great. So, I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope that might help in some way. I know there's lots and lots of other ways to keep consistent with this work. And I love getting on Google and figuring out ways to, but for me, a lot of the stuff with consistency is very business minded, and it's very much in that, set your goals and break them down, which is also a good thing. But that doesn't kind of resonate with me and how I work. But maybe it will with you. Yeah. So, and always coming back to your why. That's a good one. Coming back to your why. Why are you doing this? Or why are you implementing all these practices into your day? Why do you want to do them? What is the ultimate? Do you want to feel that joy? Do you want to feel that deep self-love for yourself? I think we all do. We all want to love ourselves a little bit more, don't we? So knowing your why and getting that down on paper, that's really important too. So those are my thoughts for today. And thank you for listening. I will be back next week with something new.